Good day anime fans. Today's episode of HANAYOME we're counting down the top 10 newest anime romance of 2019. If you're new to this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button so that you will not miss my other anime content. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. ORESUKI is an ace high school student but leads an otherwise tough life. His standoffish personality and reclusive nature have left him friendless, and his father is debt-ridden, forcing his family to scrape by. One day during his lunch break, ORESUKI argues with a female transfer student who has claimed his seat, leading both of them to dislike each other. That same day, he is presented with a golden opportunity to clear his family's debt. A private tutoring gig for a wealthy family's daughter, with a wage of 5 times the market price. He accepts the proposal, but is horrified to discover that the client, Itsuki Nakano, is the girl he confronted earlier. After unsuccessfully trying to get back on Itsuki's good side, ORESUKI finds out that his problems don't end there. Itsuki is actually a quintuplet, so in addition to her, he must also tutor her sisters Miku, Yutsuba, Nino, and Ichika who, despite the very real threat of flunking, want nothing to do with a tutor. However, his family's livelihood is on the line, so ORESUKI pushes on, adamant in his resolve to rid the sisters of their detest for studying and successfully lead them to graduation. To the students of Karai High School, Nanako Yukishiro is a pretty, calm, and cute 16-year-old. However, Nanako is no ordinary girl, as she cannot speak. Instead, Nanako communicates through SENRYOU's 17-syllable long poems. 16-year-old Iji Busajima used to be delinquent in his middle school years. However, he has since turned over a new leaf due to his newfound love of SENRYOU. Despite his menacing looks, Iji gets along well with Nanako as a fellow member of the literature club. Even though Nanako is mute, the adorable pair have no problem communicating with each other. SENRYOU's SHOUJO is a light and relaxing story of two teenagers' daily lives. Show them your AO face. As an innocent child, Aohari would unhesitantly proclaim the origins of her name. Now that she is in high school, she is determined to study hard in order to one day escape the influence of her lascivious father, a famous erotic author. However, when the amiable Takumi Kojima confesses to Hori, her mind runs wild with scandalous thoughts. Moans eager to escape, legs crossing, and a warmth spreading through her body, Hori cannot help but misconstrue Kojima's rather pure motivations. To make things worse, no matter how hard she tries to ward off Kojima, his advances do not stop. Now, if only she could just study. When they were little kids laughing and playing together, Izumi Norimoto and Kazusa Vanadera were like siblings. But as their bodies matured into middle school, Kazusa began seeing him as something different. Unfortunately for her, so did the other girls. Ostracized, Kazusa had no choice but to distance herself from him going into high school. After joining the literature club, however, she finds friends that keep her mind occupied. Known throughout the school for reading aloud sex scenes in literature novels, the club's reputation has kept all teachers from accepting the task of being their advisor. During a discussion about what they would put on their bucket list, one of the girls says one thing: sex. This single word sends ripples throughout the 5 girls, as the thought of sex begins taking over their daily lives. And, after walking in on Izumi during a very private moment, Kazusa is sent into a spiral of emotion that forces her to face her true feelings for him. Now, with their hearts racing and the literature club facing immediate disbandment, the 5 girls must work hard to keep both their sanities and their club alive. Starting his new term at Tananashi High School, an unmotivated freshman searches for a club that requires minimal participation to suit his needs. He then comes across the magic club room, and inside is a cute upperclassman practicing her magic tricks. Suffering from stage fright that causes her to slip up in her acts, she has a tendency to end up in the most embarrassing situations. Despite having little interest in a club run by an incapable magician, the freshman finds himself involved as a new member, experiencing all sorts of awkward moments with his eccentric mentor. After the accident in which she lost her mother, 16-year-old Toru moves in with her grandfather, but due to his home being renovated, is unable to continue living with him. Claiming she will find someone to stay with, but also fearing the criticism of her family and not wanting to burden any of her friends, Toru resorts to secretly living on her own in a tent in the woods. One night on her way back from work, she finds her tent buried underneath a landslide. Yuki Sama, the prince of her school, and his cousin Shigeru Sama, a famous author, stumble across Toru's situation and invite her to stay with them until her grandfather's home renovations are complete. Upon arriving at the Sama house, Toru discovers their secret. If a Sama is hugged by someone of the opposite gender, they temporarily transform into one of the animals of the zodiac. However, this strange phenomenon is no laughing matter, rather, it is a terrible curse that holds a dark history. As she continues her journey, meeting more members of the Zodiac family, will Toru's kind-hearted yet resilient nature be enough to prepare her for what lies behind the Sama household's doors? Under Narayuki Yuga's devoted tutelage, his classmates Rizu Ogata, Yumino Furuhashi, and Yoruka Takemoto are finally pulling average test scores on their worst subjects. But time is ticking, and there is still a long way to go before the three geniuses of Ichina's Academy are ready for their upcoming university exams. Meanwhile, the girls still struggle to balance the pursuit of their dreams with their growing affections for their unsuspecting tutor. Joining them are Mafayu Karisu, a teacher with strong views about education and talent because of her past as a rising figure skater, and Asumi Kaminami, a graduate from their school aiming to attend a national medical university. With these two additions, the group of six is livelier than ever before. Completely caught up in hilarious antics with his new friends, Yuga finds that his last year of high school now includes a lot more than just going to class and studying. Amatsuyu Jaro Kisaragi is a completely average second-year high school student who has 2 dates over one weekend with the student council president Sakura Cosmos Aquino on Saturday, then with his childhood friend Aoi Himawari Hinata on Sunday. Sadly for Jaro, both girls proclaim their love for his best friend Taiyu Sun-chan Uga, the ace of the baseball team. Accepting each of their requests for advice and guidance, he is now responsible for helping the two girls win the heart of the same guy. Unbeknownst to his friends, Jaro's friendly and obtuse image is all but a ruse designed to cast himself as the clueless protagonist of a textbook romantic comedy. A schemer under his cheery facade, he makes the best of this unexpected turn of events with a new plan. Get Sun-chan to fall for either Cosmos or Himawari and take the other as his own prize. But Jaro's last-ditch effort is threatened by the gloomy four-eyed Sumareko Pansy Sanshakuin, who surprises Jaro with not only her knowledge of his secret personality, but also a confession to the true self he hid for all this time. Stuck in this hilariously messy situation, each of the 5 students must navigate countless lies, traps, and misunderstandings to come out on top. As far as it goes, many boys, especially in their teenage years, want to have a girlfriend. Kiki Kiryu is no exception. One eventful afternoon, his days of yearning for a lover seem to come to an end when he receives a love letter from an anonymous sender along with a pair of white panties. To determine the identity of his secret admirer, referred to as Cinderella, he proceeds to investigate several possible candidates, including his senior Seiyuki Takahara, his underclassman Yuka Koga, and his classmate Mao Nanju. However, as Kiki seeks to uncover who this mystery girl might be, he comes to know about the perverted fetishes hidden behind each candidate's innocent exteriors. In their teenage years, few things can hurt people more than the heartaches that come with unrequited love. Such is the case for Natsuo Fujii, who has found himself entranced by his school's ever-cheerful teacher Hina. Deflated by this unreachable desire, Natsuo humors his friends and attends a mixer. There he meets Rui, a girl whose lack of excitement rivals that of himself. After bonding over their mutual awkwardness, Rui takes Natsuo to her house and asks him to have sex with her, hoping that the experience will stop her friends from treating her like a clueless child. With his hopeless feelings towards Hina still on his mind, Natsuo hesitantly agrees. Equally unfulfilled by their first times, the two decide to part ways as strangers. However, before he even has a chance to process this experience, Natsuo's father drops a major bombshell. He is getting remarried, and his new wife Tsukiko Tachibana is coming over now to meet Natsuo. As if that was not enough of a shock, her daughters and, in turn, Natsuo's new sisters are Hina and Rui Tachibana, the woman he's in love with and the girl with whom he shared his first night. Now, Natsuo must come to terms with the feelings he has for his step-siblings, as his eyes open to a darker side of love. So what do you think of this list? Their name and which is your favorite newest anime romance of 2019? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more anime related content. I'll see you next time here in AniTube.